Hey there, it's Raven Scry here today to offer another crypto read. This one was offered from a mystery man, so thank you to him. Now, the two coins that he's asked for is Velo Labs and XPR, which has been rebranded from Proton, I believe. Also, just another reminder that these readings are not financial advice, and you have to always follow your own heart and intuition when making your choices about investing. Also, if you'd like one of these readings, please don't hesitate to get in touch via the About page of the channel and the email there. Enjoy. Okay, so the first project that you've requested is Velo, and I'm just going to open up and connect to the energy of it. Firstly, now it's interesting, there's strong green energy. It feels almost fluorescent in the colouring. It's like I'm just being filled with this green fluorescent energy in the space, and it's like there's a stability within the energy here, and in some way it's like it's not been turned on yet. It's like it's almost on standby in the way the energy feels, but it's very alive within the vibrance of the colour filling the space. And I asked Spirit to show me a little bit more around the energy and the possibilities through this of Velo. It's like there's, in the way that it's coming through, it's like there's different possibilities for it. And it's like it hasn't yet found its full pathway into the way that it's going to be working or something like this. It's like there's all these opportunities around it and all these ways that it could be implemented and be working, but they're all just possibilities, and it's like there is this level of standby that's taking place. You know, it hasn't yet started to really move or really develop in the way that they're showing this. They just show these opportunities. So as I ask Spirit, you know, what have they got to add around Velo Labs, and, you know, do they like this project? Yes, good. And they're actually saying good fundamentals. They're talking about success. They do like it, although they sit away from it in terms of it's not the right time or something. You know, it's not... they're not sitting with it in presence is the way that it's shown. It's like they don't sit with it, they sit away from it, which almost suggests to me that, you know, something is to come later with it, but they like it. They're giving me, yes, you know, they're giving me a gentle nod with it. And as I ask, okay, you know, moving through 2024 into 2025, what can be offered around the movements of Velo and the trajectory of the project? Financial adoption, and it does feel like it's being implemented, you know, which is interesting because, as I was saying, there's all these options for this project, but it is like it's being implemented into businesses or being used in some way. It's finding its streams of connection and its pathways into the places that it's working with or a part of or integrated into. So there is adoption and development that's taking place for this project. Now, it also does feel like, I feel like there's a seriousness here, you know, the energy around it is, it's like it's being taken seriously, this project. And it feels like there's solid building behind it, if that makes sense. Solid building and solid tech in the way that it's coming through, and a team that is coming from quite a focused standpoint is how Spirit brings this to me. So I'm just going to ask, okay, in regards to as it develops and, you know, this adoption takes place, and, you know, what can we be seeing as we head further into 2024, into 2025? Again, they're just saying larger adoption. And it's interesting too, I'm getting reference to India as quite significant in some way. And it's interesting because I connect to India and suddenly I'm hearing Bollywood music. Now, it's always funny the way things come through from Spirit. It always brings me a great deal of joy watching the way that they share information. So there's this Indian connection and this Bollywood connection. Now, it almost feels like there's something in regards to business or it could be music connected, but it also could be like platforms of exchange or paying for something. There's some sort of exchange here that's connected to India, and it feels like it has a social element to it. There's this social media kind of connection there in some way, in the way that it's finding its way. But I just sort of see all of these Indian people and their music, and there's like this celebratory kind of energy, and this is kind of connecting in to Velo Labs. So that's quite interesting. So there is this adoption. It is moving along nicely. Now I ask Spirit, can you support me with a little bit of a reference to price action? Is there? They're showing me a 56. Which is interesting because there hasn't been a lot of numbers coming up through a lot of these readings, but there was a 56K reference a few readings back. Now, I'm not sure which reading it was because I'm doing so many at the moment, and my throat's just gone a bit strange, which often has some significance. There's something around 56 with price. Now, whether this is the general market overall, like a connection to what's taking place in the market, but they're just referencing this 56 again. I'm just asking a little bit more clarity. They're talking about, like, there's this 56K reference, and then then they're talking about more of a pause and something comes later, and it almost feels like there's an undulation here. It's like something's going up and then it's pulling back. So again, I feel like I'm gonna have to look into what's being shown here that's come up in these other ways. If you can recall what the 56K reading was referring to, please let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to revisit that. So there's 56K, and I'm going to ask, is there any more figures that they're wanting to share around this project? It's interesting. They're sort of steering me off into references of P's and like coins with a P, and whether it's polka dot or it's like I'm being pulled to some other coin. But I'm just going to kind of offer that there. And I'm going to ask Spirit any more numbers around, numbers or price points around this project and the trajectory of it. They just keep saying 56K, and I'm hearing 56K out. So there's something, something important around that figure. So just keep an open mind and really keep a watch of the numbers and what's taking place in the larger scale of the market, but also with this project. And I'm just going to ask any final words for Velo. Extreme volatility. It's like it's going to go through some quite patchy spots. And I just see a movement, and then there's kind of these big red kind of ups and downs coming into it. And I ask, but how are we moving further into it? How's it going to be? I'm hearing 256. Okay. There's this reference to 56 that they keep throwing in, and then now it's 256. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it there for Velo Labs. Okay, and I'm going to move along now to XPR, which I believe has been rebranded from Proton. Okay, so as I connect into XPR, I'm hearing significant gains and reliability, product reliability, financial success. And they're saying rebranding was a good choice. It was almost like there was a hesitation to do that, but then they're like, yes, we're going to do that, and you know, it was a good choice, is what Spirit's saying. I'm just going to ask Spirit to help me to understand a little bit more what they can give around XPR, what insights. Long trajectory. It's like they're showing me ups and downs and long trajectory. And I am getting that word again, which I don't like to say, but parabolic. Incoming, like it's a run that just, I'm seeing a big candle going straight up. So it's going to have some sort of pump. And then they're talking about a significant change in the market and the market structure in connection here to XPR. Okay, I'll just ask you a little bit more. What can you give around XPR, Spirit? They're just showing me this cheer. There's a triumphant kind of energy that's like pushing and going, and there's just candle up. And I believe it's quite a decent run that it's seeing. Now I'm hearing overvalued, undersold. So I just see this candle up. So they just keep taking me to this candle up. So there's this pump that's coming, which they refer to as parabolic. And I'm just asking a little bit more around success in the market. But then they talk about a drop. They're bringing this element of drop, which it feels like there's this kind of zooming parabolic thing, and then there's a big drop very soon afterwards. So certainly taking profits if there's any major parabolic run that it does. And as I move, into 2024, into 2025, what have you got to share, Spirit, around this one? Just financial success. They just keep saying financial success, but they're talking about it being a waiting game for now, and making preparations. And it's interesting because they say making preparations, and they're showing me now towels. Someone's washed a big bunch of towels and they're folding them all up. It's like, they're doing each section of the washing. They get the towels, they're in the washing machine, then they've dried the towels, then they've pulled them out and they're folding them up and they're arranging them in the cupboard, ready to be used. So it's like they're showing me the stage of this process of folding the towels. So it's like they're talking about stages of preparation, and mirroring that with these stages of this washing and folding these towels. So certainly, they're certainly impressing upon me to make those preparations now, because we are getting closer and closer to this run that they're speaking of. It's not far away, and I do get a 2 in reference here. Could be 2 weeks, could be 2 months. This is kind of, I'm feeling more resonance with weeks, but certainly, I'm going to leave that there. This could, certainly timelines and things can shift, and but they just give me a 2 around this. We're nearly at a stage, we're nearly at a point that something happens, but then as we go further along, there is this Indian connection, and it's like a much wider, much larger adoption suddenly, and it's like it just gets really loud. And I can hear, again, I'm taken to this scene of India and Bollywood music and like people partying and being really noisy and celebrating. So it's quite interesting, this connection, but it feels like it's going to really have some pertinent, potent times that it goes through. Now I do feel like this pump may be connected to the Indian connection here, but it almost feels like it's to come later, that development and that integration that they're speaking of. Okay, I'm just going to ask Spirit, is there anything else they wish to speak about in regards to XPR? They're just saying future development, future growth, and they're giving me a thumbs up. We like this one, they're saying. But, it's a bit scattered in some of the ways that they're giving this. They're kind of, yes, it'll be good here, and they leave space. So it's almost like, it's going to have good times, and then it's going to have boring times, and kind of empty times and nothingy times. But there is these two particular points that they point out, which is fairly soon and later on when it sort of gets into this other adoption phase. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed those readings. If you have any thoughts or info or anything to share around either of those projects, please don't hesitate to pop it in the comments below. I know that I'm, giving a lot of readings at the moment to you guys, and it's almost like a bit of a stream. I will be coming in and connecting with other readings and also in other ways in the crypto market a little bit down the line. So, just at the moment I'm focusing on this and really fleshing out and, from each reading, sort of building a picture of where we're at and where we're moving. So, macro, micro, some people are sort of seeing it in a very linear way, the way that I'm doing it, but there's a lot more in these and a lot more information and insights that are coming through. So it is a bit of a process, but I'm enjoying it and I hope that you are too. Also, if you would like one of these readings, please don't hesitate to get in touch via the About page of the channel and the email there. I'll see you again soon. Raven Scry signing off.